Gamarjivat, everyone. Welcome to me restoring my podcast. It's Samuela Davidova here, and today I have a guest, Georgi. I decided to restore a podcast related to businesses in Georgia because I've been based here, and it's quite interesting, great country in Caucasus, and there are some great businesses and things going on here. And I wanted to think and meet Georgi because he is a CMO at Bitnet. And there has been a regulation that was updating some kind of, and changing the perspective in the cryptocurrency blockchain industry here in the region, in Georgia. And so I wanted to see how this impacted you, what changed, and I see you have a big new office. So I want to hear what's new. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yes, it's been a while. So yeah, Georgia, best country in the Caucasus for sure.
Not only.
Not the only country, but the best one. And the only one with regulation for crypto actually. So Azerbaijan and Armenia don't have it yet. Armenia is working on it. Azerbaijan I don't think is even working at the moment on it. Even though there are ways to buy crypto, obviously, also in Azerbaijan. But yeah, in Georgia, what we have, so we didn't have a license for a long time. Now we have a VASP license, Virtual Asset Service Provider license, which basically creates a lot of clarity in the business. Now it's better for companies like us who do crypto exchanges to work with banks. Basically, both sides understand the risks, the possibilities that are there, and we have also new companies then entering the Georgian market. So it's quite a good regulation, and it also helps us and our clients to have a lot of clarity when it comes to crypto. So if they want to cash out from, I don't know, big exchanges or doing something in DeFi, they can now do it very easily. We are open for business for not only Georgians but also foreigners. They can use our services if they have bank accounts in Georgia. It's very easy. So it's not only for like private person but also for businesses, which is also important because we see a lot of growth there. Companies are more interested in doing stablecoin transactions to settle invoices or whatever it is. So yeah, quite exciting times. A lot of more usability for crypto than we had before. So, yeah.
Well, okay, now I have even more questions on you. Because one of the things I'm doing is that I'm opening remotely bank accounts for people abroad. Mostly I have European clients, now more Americans, but most of the people are like founders, entrepreneurs who live abroad, who live around the world. And Georgian banking is really developed from this perspective. Like when I compare it to European bank, I used to live in Europe, and to me it was a nightmare. Like you even travel around the EU and it's suspicious kind of if you travel outside the EU. You have to contact your banker, come in person like months in advance and say like, guys, it will be me really. And here it's much more relaxed. You have 4 currencies by default. So this is really interesting. And well, okay, on the personal level, so how does it really work? Like, because I understand that to me, it feels like the Georgian banks still, they're open, but at the same time, they don't want to have problems. And Georgia doesn't want to be perceived as sort of offshore kind of, and they don't want to be a red flag country.
Yes.
That's what I understand from overall narrative and regulation. Yeah, so I assume that having some kind of general exchange like Binance and stuff and moving money from there to Georgian bank would be tricky.
And
am I right?
Expensive, yes.
Okay. But going with a Georgian crypto exchange like Bitnet, it would make sense. It would be, you say, cheaper, okay.
Yes.
And it will be faster and easier, and the Georgian banks will be like, okay.
Yes. So yeah, to dig a little bit into that. So the banks we have here, and we have mainly two banks, right? TBC Bank and Bank of Georgia, which both are listed on the London Stock Exchange, and so they have a lot of compliance stuff, and they want to make sure that they're doing everything by the book, so to speak. So when it comes to crypto, and there are obviously international exchanges, that's no secret, Binance, Bybit, whatever it is. The only way to get the funds out for now to Georgia would be either through card transaction, where you use Master or Visa, and the other way would be P2P. So you transfer funds, I don't know, to somebody in Georgia, and then he does a private transfer from his bank account to your bank account, which is problematic because you have no connection with this person, you don't know what kind of money it is, etc. So this could create problems for you as well.
Yeah, I would maybe stop on it and comment on it because I had a discussion that indeed, like peer-to-peer, please, like don't do it, guys, because the probability that the money is somewhere from weird sources is just very high, and then you're just like really one step away. No one will ask you questions. The police will come to the bank, they will be like, okay, what were the transactions, and they're just closing the account shares.
Exactly. So if you want to keep your account safe, it's always better to go through an official route. So the companies, the Georgian VASPs, not only Bitnet but also our competitors, we have a relationship with the banks, right? So we are registered with them, they know what our business model is, they know everything about us, and it's much easier for us to do the transactions for our customers. So basically it's cheaper because for instance, at Bitnet you can do USDT to USD. We have a transaction fee of 0.5%, which is stable and guaranteed. There is not a change even if it's a high number of transaction you want to do, or if it's $10 or 100,000 or 2 million, you can do everything. When it comes to bigger numbers, when we're talking about, let's say about 50K, this is where we have to ask questions, obviously. And these questions are from an AML perspective that we ask, like, where is the funds from? And if you can basically provide the information where the funds are from, there is no problem to get your money to the bank. If you want to be sure that everything will be done and you get the money in the bank, we can also do the process before you send the money. So you just go through KYC on our platform. Every country that is not sanctioned, every citizen of every country is welcome at Bitnet. And they just register, go through KYC. They can then reach out to our support team and say, hey, I have this transaction of, let's say, 500K USDT coming in. What kind of data do you need for me to get the transaction done? We will provide you with a list, and then you provide the information, and then we will greenlight the transaction beforehand. So you don't have the risk of having your funds on an exchange if you don't want to have it, which makes sense. Yeah,
super nice. And then say, okay, I want about which threshold would you say that you're asking more questions?
I think 50K USD would be the threshold where we can look a little bit deeper.
Okay, got it. Yeah. That makes sense. It's quite reasonable. Like, to be honest, it's 2026. Like, this is like Georgia is so open-minded from this perspective. Like, the whole world to me feels like going this direction of even more questions and more centralized information in the first place, which is not really secure from another perspective, because more data means that more potential places where the data could leak. And so this is quite cool that the threshold for Georgia is really higher, reasonable. It's really fine. Like, yeah, in the West, people are laughing and joking about how they have to prove in the bank, like they want to withdraw their $500 and they're being asked, what is it for? Like, well, drugs? Like, seriously, I guess. Anyway, okay. Yeah. And so we got now money to the exchange, to Bitnet in Georgia.
Yes.
Can we get them to the bank?
Of course. So we offer, you can deposit 60 different coins on Bitnet. Mostly it's USDT or USDC that people are using, obviously. We have USDT, we have on 9 blockchains you can deposit from, and USDC I think 5 or 6. So you get the money in, you do the conversion to US dollars, and then you just provide your bank account, and we will provide the funds to your bank account. The whole process takes up to 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, this is in Georgia. That's flawless completely. But do you care, like, when the money comes from some other exchange, or you don't care about it at all? Yeah, no. You care only about the source in case it's wise.
Yes, but high. Obviously we check the transaction. Obviously, so if it's coming from illicit activity, then we will block your funds at our account and then proceed. But if it's coming from an exchange, from your decentralized wallet, etc., absolutely no problem. You can do a test transaction first if you want, and then see how it goes. But yeah, we're just using basically global players that are in the KYT, so know your transaction business, like chain analysis and stuff. If your funds are okay, there will be no issue. Coming from exchanges, absolutely no problem. You can do it.
Yeah, cool. Okay, that's very cool. Nice. And so would you say that now the banks are more calm overall when it comes to the exchange? 100%. I recall when the regulation was taking place, it felt to me that the narrative for the regulation was like, okay, guys, this is just, we take it like as another currency, and we want to treat you the same way as we treat the banks, sort of. So we want to check clients with general KYC.
Yes. That's basically it. I think so. The problem was like when we had this bankruptcies in the US with Silvergate and like these banks that were in crypto that cast a big shadow on us basically, saying like, oh, we don't know who those people are, and there was no licensing. But with the licensing and being officially licensed by the National Bank of Georgia, the banks also understood our business model better, and they're now okay with us, and we are talking to them daily and trying to improve our product. So yeah, there is a lot of openness. We have now also banks in Georgia that offer crypto buying and selling, even though you cannot get the money out. You're just buying, let's say, Bitcoin or something, and then you can keep it there. But it's becoming more open towards crypto. So
which banks?
Silk Bank, for instance, you can buy and sell Bitcoin there, but you cannot deposit any crypto basically.
Okay.
So, but you can have a portfolio there. So this is a new development that we didn't have.
That's really interesting. I mean, like, to me, it only signals that the narrative is there. So
100%, yeah.
This is really cool. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And I think since like there's global talk about tokenization, like reward asset tokenization is a big thing. We are seeing it also in Nasdaq. We're doing the stock tokenization. So we will see stuff coming in also in the banks where they have to kind of think about this, and then it opens up the door for crypto even more, right? If you have tokenized assets on the blockchain, okay, why don't we do stablecoin transactions then and stuff like that? So I think the banks will get more open-minded, and it just will get better from here.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about it, honestly, like I travel a lot now, and Georgia, the region, like you're so advanced, like you're really keeping up. This is really interesting. Okay, it's not Dubai. Like that's fair, because in Dubai most of the innovative people kind of go there and to the US, but then Georgia is really on track, I would say, when it comes to implementing the innovations.
100%. I think this is has a lot to do with the banks, because they're very innovative here in Georgia, and their products are really mobile first and app first. And basically, if you are then a fintech, you have to play their game, and it pushes the whole fintech business to be mobile first and to be user friendly, and they have a very high standard, and you try to match their standards, so you have to provide high level services. So that's why I would say, and basically we did the leapfrogging what you have in Europe. Like when I had a bank account in Europe, I had a piece of paper with pins and tons which I could use for transactions, but that never happened in Georgia, because once Georgia became digital, that time already has passed. So we did like this jump to the mobile first era, and that's why like the banking application win like best app in the world kind of prices. So
it's true, like it's really working very well and flawlessly. Yeah, it's very shocking. I'm curious now, I want to talk about the businesses and crypto. Like, so what you offer is like you can open a bank account or sort of account with us, with you for business.
Of course, yes.
And does it have to be a Georgian LLC or no?
So basically, our use case is yes, it basically has to be because the main thing that we are doing is that you use us as a bridge to get the funds into Georgian banking or out of Georgian banking.
Okay,
right?
cool.
So you need to have a Georgian bank account. It's very important. I mean, you can register and just do a swap from let's say USDT to USDC if you want to, but there are a lot of alternatives. You can do that. But our main goal is for companies in Georgia or companies that will come into Georgia and need funds in the Georgian bank or outside of the Georgian bank to use our services. So it's important.
Okay, that's very cool actually. And are there some struggles with that also? Because to me it feels that opening even just a bank account for companies is like a totally different level. Like for personal bank accounts, it's really good. It's easy indeed, but here you need to, of course, have LLC and stuff. But the KYC is like 10 pages, even when I was a client for long.
Yes, it's a little bit more complicated. We need, first of all, you need KYC from the CEO for the ultimate beneficiary of the company, stuff like that. So it takes longer than doing a personal one. Personal, you can do from home, no problem. But if it's like, if you have a complicated structure in your company, you have like mother-daughter companies and stuff like that, it might take longer. But that's fine. We have a dedicated team that does that, so we can also do that for the company if necessary.
Really nice, really nice. Like I'm happy that.
And we can give an assessment if it makes sense, if they actually will be able to use then our services to get the money to Georgia or outside of Georgia with the structure they have in place and how the bank will react. So we can help with that as well.
That's very cool. Like I would say that from this perspective, not many countries actually support businesses to have crypto-related income.
It's quite new, but now we're getting there. We have already clients using our services. They're quite happy. We're trying to it's a new service for us as well. We are trying to improve, get new features like based on customer support, but or feedback, and it's becoming a better product every day.
Nice. Is there something else that you're planning right now, like to implement?
Yes, but I cannot share it. But not yet. It's more like, I mean, we do a lot of stablecoin stuff. So most of our innovation comes in stablecoin products. So we're working on some of the things, but it's too early to tell, unfortunately.
Okay, I get it. Okay, nice. Yeah. Well, I can see that now there will be the tokenization event in a month.
Yes.
It's also really cool. Like, again, honestly, when you go to conferences in Europe, it's you're like, USDC, Bitcoin, guys, do you have Bitcoin? Like, wow, it's cool. Should I start? You know, and then you go to Georgia and Mikhail did a blitz and be like, yeah, we have to tokenize everything. I was just talking to another guy who's like working on tokenization of real estate. Then I talked to another and he's like, oh, we're already doing it here in Georgia. I'm like, what, guys? This is crazy.
Do you believe in tokenization of real estate? I have a hard time believing in it, to be honest.
Oh, I think it's cool. I think it's very cool. Well, in Liberland, we are tokenized. We have tokenized everything basically. Like.
And you have do you have a market where people can actually there's liquidity of people buying and selling, or is it just holding? You know, what do you have tokenized? Like land or?
Yeah, land. Well, if you now you can claim a land if you and become a shareholder. You're a shareholder of the country if you contributed to it. So that's.
And can I sell my land?
Yeah.
And are there buyers? Like, is there liquidity? Is actually?
I would say that we're implementing it. Yeah, okay. But it's interesting. Like, I think it's an interesting use case, and
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But here, for example, in Georgia, I quite understand it. So you have two major banks that are also having the most power over whom they will lend money. Yes. And then when you're a developer, so you need to build, but you need to have cash flow for it.
Yes.
And then if you are on a lot of projects and the bank be like, oh, we don't want to give you money yet because they are also having their own private and commercial projects like Bank of Georgia and TBC.
Not anymore, but yes, okay, I get your point. But so you think, and but then you have to get the money from somebody else, so from retail customers. That's what you're saying, and you think they were going to invest in a company like that? I'm not sure, but let's see.
Yeah, let's see. To me, I like the fact that it diversifies overall. And that there are appearing more and more opportunities for people to sort of choose, and it certainly like disrupts the market. Like, so when you had everything was like, okay, banks, and now it's like, oh, maybe we don't really need banks. And of course, it's questionable to. There's always some kind of bubble, and I think we're quite maybe too early still for that. Like, we will see maybe in 3 years we will look back and look at how many use cases actually made sense. But I like that it's something more tangible, and it's interesting, like how people are coming up with different things. Like
I think they're just better things, like buildings or stuff. I mean, tokenization of stocks and stuff, I understand much more than like there's this building and I'm going to tokenize it, because it kind of makes more sense to me, but we will see. I get it. Well, I would say that overall in the first place, like what it does is that maybe we look at it from Georgian perspective, but if you look at other countries, not everywhere you can get, stocks, but like you cannot invest in so many things, right? So like crypto provides you some option to put your money into something, and or getting a real estate, like I don't know, like in Europe you have to you want to buy a flat, like it's very regulated, it's very difficult to get any money, and then if you have certain portion of money but you cannot afford everything, and say you don't have a typical employment, which is considered safe, whatever, no comment, but fine. And so then you cannot get a flat, say, or the regulation coming from like the taxation of real estate, also another thing. Like, so this disrupts the way how we look at it at the same time too. So like there are a lot of things that are actually involved, and likely it will provide more opportunities to people, to the individuals in the first place, and then the market somewhat reacts likely to some needs of people. So let's see about how that evolves and so on. But I don't know. I'm skeptical, but yes, let's see.
That's
I'm
totally
open-minded.
fair.
I would love to see a first Georgian project that is very successful with real estate tokenization. I would be happy to list their tokens as well, if it makes sense. And yeah, that would be great if we see something like that. But maybe in 1 month we will find out at the conference.
Yeah, let's see about that. Yeah, do you see anything else like where Georgia is headed now when it comes to the crypto stuff? What has been happening recently?
Not much, to be honest. Business as usual, I think. I think we'll get a lot of new products like crypto cards and stuff in Georgia, and people will spend more stable coins basically in Georgia, somewhat providing an alternative to banks, but but it's a slow race, but we'll get it.
Yeah. It seems crypto cards to be a thing for this year.
Next big
like
thing
everyone has a crypto card. I'm like, nah, I don't want it. Will you have crypto cards?
We don't have yet, but we are also looking into it. But like everyone I see is like cashback, or you get 4%, 5%, 6%, 10%, and stuff like that. Is interesting how sustainable it will be. You know, user acquisition cost is quite high, I guess. So that's why they provide the cashback. So it's interesting. It's very crowded already, but everybody's still moving into the direction.
Yeah, but from the other hand, it's quite cool that more companies are competing with the cashbacks and stuff, so that the products will likely improve.
Yes.
But I don't know, like for example, do you know like how premium services from Visa or so are looking at it?
I don't know.
Because, for example, this is super shocking. Like when you get a bank account in Georgia, it's quite easy to get a premium bank account and to get premium cards, which, wow, it would be really hard somewhere else. Like it's quite a thing here, but in other countries you would have to leave there like 50K in the bank and so on.
That's true. Like you get like the Visa fast track in the airport very easily in Georgia, and if you're a European, it will take you forever to get the status like that. That's true.
Indeed. Yeah. So I was curious. Like this would be maybe an interesting step, sort of.
Provide such services.
If there would be crypto cards, but with premium,
I think some
premium
of them
cards.
Are already. Like, you can get like concierge services and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very nice. Okay, nice. I'm curious about what's going. What will happen next, and
let's see.
You keep your secrets, that is fine. Thank you so much.
Next time we can talk about the products more in detail once we've launched.
Okay, I will stay curious, and I will list bitnet site.
Yes, and people can reach out. We are 24/7 available. Our support team is 24 hours, so anytime they have questions, they can reach out, visit us at the office.
Okay. Thank you so much. Happy to talk to you. Thank you, George.